Hello, welcome back to my channel. My name is Britty, and today's video is going to be my August wrap up. I know you're probably thinking, girl, August is not over yet. Today is still August 31st, but I am done with August. I've finished my last book for this month. We'll get to what that last book is, and I'm on a roll. 2 videos back to back. Who am I? Hopefully this video is not as long as the last video. Um, if you haven't watched my last video that I just posted, which is the icebreaker reaction, I'm sorry. This one, I will talk about it. I've been holding off my full um, not analysis, but my full rating of Icebreaker because I wanted to talk about it here on this video. So that's on the list. But let's get crack-a-lacking because I've read a lot of books and I didn't realize that I did. Which reminds me, hold on. I forgot to look how many books. I mean, I hit my book goal already, but I wanted to know what was my book goal for this month. For for August. Where is August? That's September. Oh, here we go. All right. So my book goal to read for this month for August was 6. I think I read 10. Which is not too bad. So we're gonna go down the list. It's a lot. Like I said, I'm gonna try to make this video as short and demure and very cutesy as possible. With that being said, let's get crack-a-lacking. So my first book that I read is what is it? My Lady Jane. It's it's the Lady Jane's number 1. So it's by Jody Meadows, Brody Ashton, and Cynthia Han. That book. I wanted to read this because oh my gosh, Amazon Prime. It's on Amazon Prime, and I've heard some crazy things about this show, and I didn't realize I didn't realize it was a book, so I read it, and my rating does not match my energy for this book. I had a fun time with this book. There was some scenes where I thought, is this really happening? I don't want to spoil it, but it's a wild ride. But I rated 2.5 stars because for the book to be, I think, 512 pages, I felt at some point it kind of dragged in some scenes, so that I had to knock it down quite a bit. I think I was going to rate it a 3-star almost, but I just felt by the end of the book I was just like, please end. So I rated that. So, but it was I still had fun. It was still an entertaining book. With that being said, the next book is Sleep Like Death by Kaylin Bryan or Brayan. I think that's how you pronounce her last name. So this is oh my gosh. Oh, I should, before I continue, I also forgot, for My Lady Jane, it's like editing Brittany here. I was completely wrong, which I knew that, but I want to make sure I get it right on this clip here. I said that Lady Jane was based on Queens of Scott, which I knew was completely wrong, and it didn't feel right, but it's based off the actual Lady Jane, obviously, but of the Tudor monarch of Queen Lady, or excuse me, 9-day Queen. So, got my queens wrong, completely wrong. So I just want to make sure I get that right and not offend anyone. Oopsie, my bad. Enjoy the rest of the video. What's the word I'm looking for? It's Queen of Scots, right? Not a retelling, but like yeah, I guess essentially it's a retelling. Not Queen of Scots. Who is she? Queen of England? I forgot all my queens. So I forgot, but it's like a retelling. But that's I just wanted to mention that. But back to Sleep Like Death. Sleep Like Death is a Snow White retelling. I didn't rate this book because it kind of broke my heart. I really wanted this to be a cool, because I don't think I've read Snow White retellings as far as I can remember. But with this one, I felt like Miss Kaylin forgot she was writing a Snow White retelling. It didn't become like a Snow White, or how can it didn't like, there was some aspects of it, but the whole, I don't know, the storyline kind of confused me. Certain points in the book, I was just lost, and so I didn't rate it. I mean, the idea seems cool, but it for me kind of fell flat, so I didn't. And I think I mentioned that in my reading vlog, like a couple weeks ago, months ago. Um, so yeah, so that one I don't think I've ever gave my rating. I think I just kept it for this video. But anyways, moving on. My next book is it's The Most Agreeable Murder by Julia Seals. I picked this book. Actually, a friend of mine have this book on Libby. I think it was on Libby, and she keeps um, holding it off. So I was like, oh, I'm gonna read it because it sounded interesting. It's basically like Jane Austen meets Clue. It's very historical. I love some of the characters. There is kind of like two twists in a way. Um, and I gave that a 3.5. I just, for, I think it could have been a 4. Um, only because I think I only gave it a 3.5 because towards the end, or towards when you're finding out who the killer is, it kind of just, I don't know. I thought I'd be more surprised by it, but I really wasn't. I kind of called it a little bit earlier in the book, but that's fine. That's just me. And then moving on to Triptych by Karen Slater or Slaughter. I gave it as one of the first book of the Will Trent series, and I gave that a 4.5. Um, I started reading this book because, once again, Will Trent, it's on TV. Don't remember what channel it's on, but and another booktuber is a fan of these series, so I wanted to. There's actually a couple booktubers that I follow um, that like this Will Trent series, so I thought I'll hop on the train and give it a try. I do have the second book. I just picked up the second book from the library. Oops, sorry. Um, when did I pick this up? Oh, Friday. So this one's Fractured. I haven't started it yet. I'll start it probably today or tomorrow, but I enjoyed that. Um, it's a crime thriller book, and it's kind of, it is, I mean, for it to be crime thriller, yes, it's going to be dark, but I think this one was very um, certain. Just be careful with certain subject matters in into this book. And then, oops, my next book is Margot's Got Money Troubles. I actually listened to this one on audio, and I really enjoyed this book. I think I gave it a 5 star. I think this might be my only 5 star rating. I think most of them are like 3.5 and 4.5. Most of them are in the half range. I think this one's the only book I gave a full rating on. Um, and this one, I think I gave it, I gave this one a 5 star because the main character, Margot, her father is a wrestler, and I really love that aspect. And the author, she knows her wrestling stuff because she was mentioning wrestlers from WWE and AEW and TNA. I was like, girl, what? Good on you. And then she also talks about Fullerton, California. And oh, she more like dissing it, which is, I feel some kind of way about it because I'm familiar with Fullerton. And there's another place she mentioned, which I thought it was weird. It's weird when authors know certain places that I know, and I'm like, hey, I know that place. So I feel like the reason why I gave Margot Got Money Troubles because I knew practically everything and it felt a little bit biased. But I don't care. I still enjoy the book. And it's really funny, very heartwarming. And I did get frustrated on some characters. Um, how many characters did I get frustrated on? Like Margot, I kind of got frustrated with her, but I had to realize she is a young adult. I think she's in her 20s, 21, at least between, she's not 19. I know that for sure. I think she's in like between the ages of 20, 22, around that age. So, but yeah, I really like that, as you can tell, because I'm still talking about it. So let's move on to Night Watching. This book I also listened on audio, and I do recommend listening to this book on audio because I think it gives you more. I feel like it felt more intense by listening to it than reading it. I did grab this book in the library like a month or two ago, and I didn't get the chance to read it at the time. So I but how did I listen to this book? On Spotify, I think. And I really like it. And the narrator of this book, I forget her name. She is really good. But Night Watching is about a mom, or a mother, I should say, who's home alone with her two children, and there's like a stranger uh, in her house. And this book gives you a wild ride, and it's to the point where you're like, is she crazy? Um, but I really did enjoy this book. I gave it a 4.5 stars. I think the reason why I gave it a 4.5 because I didn't like the gaslighting, but I understand why she was gaslit. So I guess I can give it a 5 star, but I don't like it. It frustrates me, especially when you're a single mother with two young kids and the children. Okay, anyways, I'm I'm getting ahead of myself. So if you want to watch or if you want to listen to it, I prefer to, or I should say, I recommend you to listen to it because, like I said, it gives you that tense vibe. And I don't remember. Let me, if I have just a moment of your time, let me see who narrated Night Watching. Um, because I don't, and I think I've heard this narrator before, but I can't pinpoint where. Let's see, where is it? Night Watching. Let's see, who's the narrator? Does it tell me? Emily Elliott? I think that's how you pronounce her last name. Is L, or no, I'm sorry, Ellet is her last name. Um, and I need to figure out where I've heard her from because I thought she was also the narrator of what is that book? One of Us is Dead by Geneva Rose, but I don't think it's her. But um, yeah. So if you're interested, uh, I do recommend. So let me go back to my next book, Night Watching. Oh, The Friend Zone by Abby Jimenez. I think that's how you pronounce her last name. And I gave that rating, or I gave that book a rating of 4.25. Um, don't remember why. I did like it. I had fun. It was my first time reading Abby Jimenez's book. Why did I give it a 4.25 rating? Oh, I remember the main character. Um, I can't say because it was spoiler the book, but the main female character, her reasoning of not that she couldn't be with her love entrance. I think it was kind of, I get it, but I think it's kind of, I don't know, to each, you just decide on your own how you feel about it if you happen to read it. And then and then the next book finally is Icebreaker by Hannah Grace. I made a full video of this if you want to listen, watch it, or have me on the background. I don't know how to put it in the cards, but it's literally the first video before this video, or it's the next, or it's, if you're looking at it, it should be the first video before this video, if that makes sense. And I will preface that video is an hour long. So if you want to just a quick note version of it all here, I gave it a 3.75 rating, only because there's some things, and I mentioned in my video, but basically, I mean, I had a nice time. I enjoyed it. There was some scenes that were very cringe. There was some scenes where I'm like, Miss Hannah Grace, why of all scenes to write, why did you write it like that? Um, but I had fun. I know some, if not all, adore this book, love this book. I know some absolutely hated it. I'm in between. I like, I didn't hate it, but I didn't love it either. I, like I said, it was a nice time. I had fun. I chuckled. I rolled my eyes. But I don't know if I want to read. I think it's Wildlife, or is it Wildfire? It's the second book, and I messed that up in my video. I think it's called Wildlife, and then the next book, it's Henry's point of view. The third book is called Dream Something. Sorry. If it was about JJ, if I don't think either book's about either, I don't think. Well, the third book's about Henry. The second book, I don't know who it's about, but if the second one's about JJ, I may read it. If not, I don't know. I may read Henry's book. We'll see. But yeah, that's my cliff notes of Icebreaker. And then my next book it's Queenie by Candace Carty Williams. And I rated that a 3.25 book. And that book, I would say, um, I'm trying to think if there's any, not so much, it's no, I don't think there's any trigger warnings, but it does. Oh, I say reading this book, um, it's very not topic heavy, but it does talk about mental health and how to take care of yourself in a way. Or let me backtrack. Our main character Queenie kind of uh, I don't want to spoil it, but our main character Queenie goes through a breakup, and you kind of watch her basically spiral down, and how she kind of comes up from that. Um, and I would say, I don't know. I would say be cautious with it, because there is some moments where she does like um, kind of go through it, and for me, I it kind of did drain me a little bit. But I did have Icebreaker and Malibu Rising to kind of balance me out in a way. So I would say if you're reading Queenie, um, make sure you read something kind of more uplifting, for sure. Not saying that in a bad way, but I'm just saying that it's very topic heavy. But yeah, and then kind of weirdly transitioning. Finally, Malibu Rising by Taylor Jenkins Reid. I started this book back in July, and I kept pushing it back because I was reading a whole other different books. But I finally finished it today, and I rated it a 4.5. Um, and I almost rated it a 3 because it was kind of slow in some parts, but it did pick up in the middle towards the end. I think because of certain characters that are that I mean, it's about what's his face, Riva kids, and a little bit about him, and then but it does transition to the next book, which is, oh my gosh, Carrie Soto. I think that's the one, and that's the one and that's the book I don't have yet. So I'll get that. I don't know if I want to buy it because I have most of the universe, but I think I will. The only thing is, I need to get in a paperback because all my other books by Taylor are paperbacks, and I think the Carrie Soda book is a hardcover. Um, Yikes! But anyways, that is it. Did I mention it? I rated it a 4.5 for Malibu Rising. I think I did. But that is all the books I've read in the month of August. I'm going to count how many books I read. 1, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, I read 10 books in a month of August. That is wild. And I think how I said I beat my goal for the year. I think I'm at 65 books now. Let me hop into my Goodreads because that's easy to find of how many books I've read. Yeah. So I've read a total of 65 already. So my next book for September, I'm going to read Fractured, and then I'm going to try to read some of my books from my TBR. And then also I'm going to read the the Silent Patient because my mom read this and she likes it. So I'm going to read this and so we can chit chat because I know she's waiting for me to read this book. So mom, if you're watching, which I know you are, this will be part of my September read. So I should probably take this out so I won't forget. Um, and that is it. Um, Sorry, I kind of ran through my wrap up here. When you do an hour video, um, it gets tiring. So, but I did want to make this video and I hope you enjoy. I hope you enjoy the other videos I made. Um, like, comment, subscribe, support your local libraries and indie bookstores. I'll see you in the next one. Have a good day.